The sun shines beautifully against a cloudy sky. The entire city is bustling with activity, and a teenager is busy waiting for the red light to turn green. He is looking at his phone in annoyance. It's a message from his parents saying that they'll be meeting up with friends tonight. He should feed their pet and shouldn't fight with Junho. He is not too happy about his mom's constant nagging. The light finally turns green. He is texting with his friends, who are asking where he is. They are all in the gaming room waiting for him. He apologizes for being late, and they tell him that he was the one who planned the whole thing. If he doesn't show up, he shouldn't bother coming. The teenager is annoyed beyond reason, and to top it all off, he bumps into an important-looking businessman who tells him to watch where he is going, even calling him a prick. Suho has no choice but to apologize. But internally, he is fuming. He was having a hell of a day, and this dude just made it worse. He is sick and tired of people and wishes that he could live in isolation. It looks like his wish is about to come true as the entire city starts trembling. They wonder if it's an earthquake or something, but the sky split asunder as a single bolt of lightning crashed in front of them. Suho and all the other civilians freeze in horror, wondering what's happening. A large explosion shakes the city. Cars collide. People panic as another bolt of lightning strikes one of the skyscrapers, reducing it to rubble. The civilians are in disarray as rubble rains upon them. In the next moment, bolts of lightning rain from the sky, each one packing the power of a hydrogen bomb. The once peaceful and bustling city is undergoing major renovations, and the people can't wrap their heads around what is happening. Cars explode, women scream, and men try to run to safety. Suho is also trying to get some shelter. A woman asks for help as an ambulance hits her from behind. With tears shining at the corner of his eyes, he wonders what the hell is going on. His day turned out to be 10 times worse than what he expected. He wonders if it's a dream, but a gigantic truck zooming towards him suggests otherwise. He pauses in horror, wondering if he's going to be a second before losing his V-card. Before the truck can hit, his vision starts warping, and he screams in horror, wondering what is happening. The last thing he sees is a bolt of lightning shining in the dark sky. Suho wakes up with a jolt. He's lying on a grassy patch and wonders where he is. He remembers being hit by a truck. A few minutes pause, and a roar catches his attention. His eyes widen in horror as he sees strange creatures flying in front of the moon. They resemble a cross between an eagle and a lion. Suho's heart is beating erratically as he realizes he's completely naked, lying on a patch of grass. He finds himself in a weird-looking forest. His mind is racing, and his heart is beating faster by the minute as a roar erupts from within the woods. A bear snarls as a pack of wolves starts tearing into the bear's body. Blood splatters everywhere, contrasting with the bear's brown fur. Suho can only watch helplessly. A doctor asks him that when he woke up on a planet with 2 moons, a forest full of monsters he had never seen before, and a giant bear throwing hands with a pack of wolves. How was he able to survive and make it back to Earth? While asking these questions, he scribbles on his chart that Suho might be suffering from delusional PTSD. But to Suho, everything was vivid and real. He remembers the wolves putting an end to the bear's existence, snapping at its carotid and making it fall in an epic display of blood and guts. Suho watches the pack tear into the bear's carcass in horror, but what he doesn't know is that a little pup wanders behind him with innocent eyes and snow-white fur. It looks at Suho trembling in fear. The only thing Suho could do was run for the chance to survive. He's not sure where he's going, but he's running until his feet hurt. He's running until every muscle in his body screams in pain. He continues to run for his life, and a weird voice echoes in his mind, saying that his stamina has increased by 1. Suho pauses, wondering what this is all about. That distraction causes him to trip and fall off a cliff right into a bunch of weeds. Suho coughs violently with spittle and sweat covering his face and body. He definitely remembers hearing someone talk about his stamina and wonders if he's hallucinating. He turns his attention to his surroundings. He's surrounded by tall grass and weird tomatoes the size of grapefruits. His stomach starts to growl, and he realizes he's starving, but wonders if it is safe to eat. He notices some ants chipping away at one of the tomatoes. Looking at the ants eating that tomato gives him the courage to taste one as well. But just as he takes the first bite, a strange rustling catches his attention. He freezes as the gas around him rustles as if something is slithering through. A large serpentine eye shines through the foliage. Suho chokes on his tomato, his eyes wide and threatening to pop out of their sockets. A giant anaconda strikes Suho, ready to gobble him without even chewing. But before the serpent can reach Suho, an even bigger toad chomps on its throat, making its blood rain down on Suho. The gigantic toad drags away the serpent's body, leaving Suho breathless and shocked. Suho loses his consciousness, and the only thing he can think about is how strange this place is. It's like the hellish version of National Geographic Planet, or maybe something's wrong with him. It starts to rain, and the raindrops start collecting on top of the leaves dripping below and right into Suho's mouth. That's the only sustain Suho can get with his limited skill set. His cheeks are hollow, and his body is full of scratches. The only improvement is that now he wears a loincloth made out of bushes. He's been stranded here for the last 67 days. The wolf pack has been chasing after him non-stop. He can't let his guard down for a moment, or else he'll be attacked. It's not only the wolf, but the whole forest is alive. He needs to find a shelter. The light falls, and the twin moons of this planet shine beautifully together. Those 67 days turn into a full year. Suho is doing better than before. He looks at a bunch of giant bananas and uses his strength to haul them away. The system informs him that his strength has increased by a single stat. He looks at the banana as big as a great sword and starts eating. He is adapted to this place better than Bear Jill's, but that annoying little wolf perp still follows him around. But he doesn't mind the company since the cub doesn't pose much of a threat. As he's eating his banana, something wet drips on him, and he looks up and freezes in horror as it's a 900-pound silverback gorilla. The gorilla yells in anger and fury, ready to punch his head in, but Suho would rather die than give up his banana. He grabs his banana and swings away, better than Tarzan. The gorilla lost its footing and is about to fall on top of the pup. It crashes and sends the pup flying, but the gorilla is far from done. The pup is injured and growls in fear, infuriating the gorilla and sending it into a frenzy. He is about to turn that puppy into a fur coat. As he brings his fist down, the puppy manages to dodge. Suho still has a bit of humanity left and rushes towards the gorilla, stabbing it in its eye using a bone knife. This infuriates the gorilla even more, and he tries to reach for Suho, throwing him off his back and sending him flying into a tree. The gorilla goes crashing through the trees, ready to end Suho's life. Suho looks at the gorilla. This was not how Tarzan played out, but what the hell was he thinking? The doctor wonders why he did that. Suho, with eyes devoid of any hope, says that he couldn't avoid a turf war. He had to face it sooner or later. Wherever one goes, there's always someone in charge. The entire forest rumbles as the silverback rushes towards Suho, ready to beat him into a bloody pulp. It roars in triumph, ready to deliver the finishing blow. But before it can move, a giant white wolf pounces on its chest and claws its other eye. Multiple red wolves also arrive, biting him all over his body. After seeing the red wolf pack attack the beast, Suho loses consciousness. The only thing he can wonder about as he passes out is if this is his end. But surprisingly, the wolf pack didn't attack him. The little pup stands a few feet away from the gorilla's hand, its leg still bleeding with a splinter poking out of it. They must have thought that Suho had helped the wolf cub. The wolf cub was the wolf king's heir and the future leader of the red wolf pack. Night falls, and the twin moons shine majestically in the night sky. The entire clifftop rumbles as the pack dashes forward with the white wolf pup and Suho at the front. Suho finds it difficult to keep up with the wolf pack. He huffs in exhaustion but still runs. He also notices the little pup having trouble running. He picks up the cub and slides down the cliff. He then runs together with a silvery wolf. It has been 2 years, and the little pup is all grown up. The Wolf King howls in front of the moon, and the entire pack follows his example. Suho also howls at the moon, shedding what remains of his humanity because they have accepted him as one of their own. Here, he scales the cliff in a matter of minutes. He's been stranded here for 31 years, not as buff as before. Scaling rooftops and throwing hands with an anaconda is just a walk in the park for him. He's still in the forest and was never able to escape, but he didn't get to make a stone machete. He still hasn't been able to find another human being, but that works out fine for him. He uses a stone blade to gut the serpent while 2 other wolves hold it down. He's now a member of the wolf pack. Together, they take down a wild boar later. There are occasional turf wars with other monsters, and Suho continues to fight on behalf of his pack. Life continues as he swings from vine to vine, growing stronger, faster, and more agile as each day passes. He spots another boar and slams his stone machete into its head, causing the birds to flutter away in fear. Suho stands on a rooftop looking at the vast blue sky. He's been stranded here for 120 years, and now he thinks that he's the only human on this planet. The struggle has been an unending struggle, and he has made many furry friends along the way, and he has also lost a couple of them. He remembers mourning the death of a wolf. He then stands on top of a cliff staring at its blood-stained stone machete, wondering how many years it has been since he's been stranded. He had given up on counting centuries and just wonders how he is still alive. The doctor wonders if that's how he became king of the wolves, the deadliest apex predator of that world, and living for more than 500 years. Did he ever find signs of civilization, and how was he able to come back to Earth? Suho recalls leading his pack against a pack of gorillas, both sides ready to tear each other to shreds. The battle was to gain control over the Moon Hill. The wolves snarl and rush towards the gorilla, and the gorilla army roars, refusing to back down. In a bloody battle of fists, fangs, and fur, Suho came out on top, completely undefeated and unscathed. He was about to slash one of the gorillas, but while he was mid-air, a bright burst of light interrupted his encounter, bathing his face in a crimson glow, warping his body in the same way it had warped all those years ago. As the light continued to consume him, the war between the gorillas and the wolf pack came to a standstill. In the present society, sirens blare in the background as the entire city is reduced to rubble. A group of soldiers is scavenging for survivors. A beautiful blonde with a sword on her hip tells the others that she is getting some readings of a dimensional drift. An authority member says that they need to send the coordinates of the portal to the management team. She immediately sends the coordinates as a bright burst of light erupts in front of them. It looks like a portal is about to open. The support members run away. They are not sure what will pop out, and they need to be on high alert. One of them yells that he had a nightmare about this happening. A large explosion shakes the city and sends them flying away. The man yells that a portal is opening up, and the other one gasps in horror as he doesn't want to die. Only the baddie is ready to throw hands. She grabs her katana, and lightning crackles around its hilt. She is ready to use thunder-breathing first form to buy some time for them to run away. These spineless idiots immediately crawl away, ready to call for backup. The portal finally arrives, spiraling in a dazzling display of gold and crimson lights. The woman holds her breath, ready to face whatever emerges. Suddenly, a dark shape walks out of the portal. Her eyes widen in surprise as the dark shape resembles a human, but something is off. The immense aura and pressure surrounding this person make her unable to move. Two who roar in indignation, completely forgetting how to talk. The woman freezes in horror, wondering what's going to go down now. A dark shape walks out of the portal while lightning cracks the sky. The woman snaps into her stance as Suho emerges like a barbarian god, his eyes blazing with power and menace. She gasps, unable to draw her blade under the weight of his presence. Within seconds, Suho collapses a few feet away, and the portal vanishes behind him. Committee members exchange stunned looks as they feel the lingering pressure, an intensity that seems beyond human. It hums like a higher-ranking monster, and everyone asks the same question without saying it aloud. Who is this man? The woman barks into her radio that the situation is under control and that it is a returnee. They call for an ambulance without a second thought. The doctor completes his examination and tells Suho that his health is stable and he will be discharged in a few days. Suho bows in gratitude, and then, oddly, he says it has been 1,000 years since he had a civilized conversation. He tells the doctor he is thankful simply to talk. The doctor smiles with a quiet sadness and calls him a warrior of the wild, a man who survived a 1,000-year adventure. The name lights Suho's eyes as the doctor turns away, muttering to himself that Suho might make an interesting writer someday with those vivid stories. At the returnee control department, the blonde girl from earlier studies the file and doubts their data. She cannot believe what she sees. The board director looks up, curious about her complaint, as she holds Suho's card in both hands. How can he be F rank? The director admits it is rare for an F rank person to drop out of a dimension, yet luck sometimes breaks the rules. If he had been E rank, he would have qualified for a pension, which makes the card harder to accept. She flips through the identity information and expects a clerical error. He looks like an ordinary man. How can a plain citizen pass through a portal? The director shrugs and suggests he must have stumbled on a returning stone by chance. He slides across the doctor's note, and her face changes when she reads the diagnosis: PTSD and delusions. The doctor apparently dismisses his wilderness claims. The director adds bluntly that F-rankers often hallucinate after returning. The girl stares at Suho's chart and remembers the wolfish look he had when he emerged. She recalls the intense gaze and the roar that chilled the room. Maybe she is wrong, she thinks, and asks if that is truly his file. The director confirms it, insisting that even a weak returnee gets processed like any other. Without thinking, the blonde volunteers to deliver the papers in person. The director is surprised and asks why she wants to do it herself. She replies that she wants to see for herself whether this man is really F rank. 2 weeks later, Suho lies on his hospital bed and stares at the ceiling, still reeling from the return. He had longed to come back to Earth, but now that he is here, Everything feels foreign and small. He wonders what he should do next. A nurse greets him and sets a tray down. The portions are neat and unfamiliar, but hunger wins. He decides to eat first and ask questions later. Soo-young arrives and pauses at the doorway, watching him hunched over his tray and eating like an animal. She hesitates, unsure how to approach a man who once stepped out of a portal like a predator. When Soo-ho looks up, his gaze is strangely predatory again. Soo-young introduces herself with a nervous laugh and says she works for the returnee control department, but Soo-ho pays her little mind. He keeps chewing, then suddenly focuses on her blonde hair and her scent. He crawls around the bed with awkward curiosity and says she looks familiar. Soo-young tells him she was the first to see him return. Back then, he had looked like an absolute predator, but now he seems like a confused man pretending to be an animal. She wonders briefly whether she has lost her touch at identifying returnees. Soo-ho licks the plate clean and asks what in the world the returnee control department does. Soo-young blinks, surprised that he asks, and hands him a document. She explains that the department helps returnees reintegrate into society and that they must read the basics, check the boxes, and sign. Soo-ho takes the pen and freezes. After 1,000 years of swinging swords, he has forgotten the small motions of civil life. He sniffs the pen as if it were a relic, mumbling that it has been a long time since he last held one. Soo-young watches his ritual with growing irritation and finally snaps that he should stop drawing and just sign the paper. Soo-ho apologizes and she scoffs, calling him a caveman and ordering him to mark the box. She leans closer and sees that he has been doodling instead of signing. A vein ticks at her temple as she asks what he is. Drawing, and Soo-ho keeps focused on the page as he sketches a wolf. Soo-young wonders aloud if he took art lessons while he was away. He replies softly that he already knew how to draw before he left. Closer to exasperation, Soo-young asks whether he learned anything useful during his absence, anything practical like magic or martial arts. Soo-ho answers that he learned only what was necessary to survive in the forest. Soo-young frowns and mutters that he must have been running around like a chicken for 10 years. The remark freezes Soo-ho in a way no complaint has so far. He tells her, voice taut, that true returnees kill monsters and steal their dimensional energy to awaken. He explains that his life was not peaceful and that he fought dinosaurs, gorillas, and monsters beyond imagining. He insists he survived for 1,000 relentless years. Soo-young has had enough of what she calls his acid trip and repeats that only 10 years have passed. Soo-ho demands she check the record, and she obliges. The file shows he was missing from 2015 and returned in 2025. The numbers hit him like a blow. Only 10 years pass on Earth. Soo-young slides his identification card across the tray and explains that his hospital fees are linked to it. If he loses it, he must report immediately. She tells him to read the document carefully and to return to his family once he recovers. When she leaves, Soo-ho watches her go and feels the room press in. He cannot stop thinking about his family and the impossible thought that they might still be alive. He stares at the ceiling again and tries to imagine what awaits him beyond the hospital walls. Soo-ho had given up hope on ever seeing his family and friends again. He remembered seeing the sun set as the sky turned azure, mirroring the sadness he felt within. He thought that his friends and family would have died a long time ago when he returned to Earth, and if he did return to Earth, he would accept the loss of the family he had found in the forest, with whom he had spent the last 1,000 years. He remembers looking at his hand as a column of fireflies floated over his head. He was devastated when he finally returned, thinking he was alone once again. But it turns out he's wrong. 10 years have passed in this world. He scans the document for information about his family, but it turns out that his parents died during the dungeon outbreak. They died only a day after he was transported. He wonders about his brother, Junho. His eyes widen in surprise, and he dashes out of his room, realizing that Junho is alive. He zooms through the hallway, telling everyone to move out of the way. He needs to find Ball Doctor. The nurses try to stop him from running in the hallway, but he doesn't care anymore. He bursts into the room, tearing the door clean off its hinges. The nurse yells at him that he can't barge in like that. Who does he think he is? But Soo-ho doesn't care about her nagging. The doctor, unfazed, asks Soo-ho what is on his mind. With conviction laced in his voice, he asks the doctor for his help. The doctor smiles, wondering how he can be of assistance. Soo-ho reveals that his brother is alive, and he needs to be released right now to go and find him. The doctor says that he is not ready to return to society just yet. He should wait for a while as they determine the whereabouts of his brother. A dangerous tone takes over Suho. He tells the doctor that maybe he doesn't understand. He is not asking for permission, but telling what he is going to do. The doctor still smiles as if he has balls of steel, but internally, he is fidgeting on his thigh. He tells Suho that he will be released under one condition, and Suho is ready to agree to any condition he puts forward. In the next moment, Suho is sitting in a cab, thanking the doctor for his favor. The doctor just smiles, promising to talk to him soon. He tells the driver that Suho has not recovered fully. He should get him home safely. The man smiles and drives the cab away. The nurse wonders why the doctor paid for his hospital bills, bought him new clothes, and gave him some money. Why did he do that? Even the return control department neglects F-ranked returnees. The doctor just smiles, telling little Miss Know-It-All that he just wants to hear this guy's stories again. The nurse wonders if the doctor has lost his marbles. Does he really want a greater dose of his nonsense? The doctor just smiles, asking her to fix the door. She is surprised to see that the door has been blasted off its hinges and the doorknob has been crushed. She has put the request out already, but wonders what happened to the handle. The doctor saw Suho crush the doorknob with his bare hands. He sits down on his chair and realizes that this is the second time the handle has been broken like that. It has been a while since he saw one of her irregular adventurers. The cab is stuck in traffic as the radio calls out that they have bad news. Due to a miscalculation during a dungeon portal break, a flood of monsters has escaped and is tearing the town apart. The footage shows a large, screeching monster attacking civilians and wreaking havoc. The Ministry of National Defense has deployed every tank and plane they have, and they have brought the situation under control within 15 minutes, giving the monster a healthy dose of missiles and cannons. But it's also true that the army suffered heavy casualties. In addition to the destruction of 2 tanks, 12 casualties are reported, including both hunters and soldiers. This will arrive once they gain more information. An ad starts playing for the SPF Championship, a bloody combat tournament between world-class superheroes. It's the 34th tournament, and the Russian Brown Bear will face his opponent. The winner of the match will qualify for the title match against the #1 hero from Japan, All Might. Will the Flame Hero be able to stop the Russian Bear, who has emerged victorious in 7 consecutive matches? The footage shows 2 adventurers staring intensely at each other. Suho wonders what in the world is happening. He remembers the doctor warning him that the world has changed since he left. It's a completely different world out there. The next footage shows a knight in shining armor telling hunters to rise. He holds a sword with thunder roaring in the background. It's a guild that provides a hunting license to those who qualify. The cab driver says that he would have earned a lot if he were a hunter. He wonders about a hunting society. The cab driver can't believe that he's not aware of the hunters. Looks like he's been living under a rock. Suho doesn't care about his sarcasm and tells him to reveal what the hunters are. With nothing else to do, the cab driver agrees, recounting how 10 years ago the portals led to other worlds and they opened up all over Korea. People called it the Day of Catastrophe as monsters emerged, tearing civilians apart, crashing into buildings, and turning cars into fireworks. This was the first clash between other dimensions and the Earth. 10% of the world population was lost that day, and monsters have been popping up all over, and their military couldn't keep up. They had to use all of their fighter jets to bring down monsters. That's why hunters were needed to fight against the monsters. Those who disappeared during the accident and returned were labeled as returnees. They could get a hunter's license and hunt monsters for money. They could even get a license and form guilds. The Earth has become a place for them to earn money by hunting monsters. The footage shows a group of hunters bringing down a monster with the power of friendship and anime. He wonders about a hunting license and how he can become one. The cab driver laughs, wondering why this greenhorn is trying to talk big. It's difficult for commoners. They learn to be awakened first. Then they will have to go to the committee and pass an exam. Suho is not too happy about learning that there is an exam involved. It sounds complicated for his primal brain. The sun starts to set as the cab driver announces that they are finally here. The 2-story red brick house in front is the address given to him. Suho thanks him and hopes they can meet again in the future. He looks at the unfamiliar building and takes a step forward. An old woman is busy wiping her window. She notices Suho and wonders who he is. Without missing a beat or any greetings, he says he is here for June. The old woman pauses and looks at Suho, calling him a rude bastard for talking to his elders. Suho wonders why he is the oldest living human in the world. The old woman barks that no one lives by this name here. He should get lost. She slams the window shut, forcing Suho to wonder if he is at the wrong house. He hears the old lady say that the rotten loan sharks are here again, coming here every day to scare them. An innocent voice wonders if the scary men are here again. Suho remembers hearing that voice years ago. The old woman tells him not to worry, but the voice wonders what will happen. The old woman is sad because his father works day and night and is still growing in depth. She wonders if it will ever be enough. The innocent voice wonders why his dad owes money, but the old woman tries to pacify the kid, telling him to eat up. Suho looks at the mail and picks out one of the letters addressed to Junho. He realizes that his brother is in depth. He walks away, thinking how in the wild the strongest makes the law. But the laws of the earth are more complicated than those of the jungle. If strength is what simplifies complex situations, then the strength of the modern world is money. With a new epiphany, he walks away, thinking about his next course of action. Suho arrives at the examination committee and slides his documents and the identification card. The receptionist apologizes because he can't take the exam. He is not qualified. He wonders why. Surviving 1,000 years in a monster dimension should make him overqualified, and he is a F rank returning. She explains that he is classified as an F rank. He has points. He needs 4 more to qualify. Suho can't wrap his head around what she is saying. He came through a portal 2 weeks ago. The attendant laughs. Civilians can't pass through portals, or else they would be shredded to pieces. But Suho distinctly remembers feeling pain throughout his body as he was passing through. The woman laughs again, wondering if he thinks that he is the Hulk or something. He should stop living in his fantasy and go home and work his 9 to 5. Or he could sign up at the Awakening Academy and get 4 more points. Then he can come back. As he turns to leave, he looks at a goblin hunting poster with $500,000 per head. He doesn't get how the system works, but he reads the location of the goblin field. He takes a cab to the location depicted on the map. The cab driver says that you should be able to see it on the map. The city is divided into 12 districts, and there are over 100 gates that connect to each district. There are a dozen out-of-city gates as well. Suho realizes that he must get a handle on his situation, and also a phone while he's at it. The cab driver drops him off at the gate. He looks at an industrial building and wonders if there is a hunting field right behind the gate. He takes a step towards the information desk, where 2 armed soldiers are guarding the place. They ask him about the purpose of his visit. With zero hesitation, he says that he's here for hunting. The armed soldier asks Suho to present his hunter's ID. He looks away, saying that he doesn't have one. The soldier informs him that civilians cannot enter, but a loud crash interrupts their conversation. They turn to look at a van smashed through the gates as a goblin chomps on the driver's throat. The van severs, hitting a roadblock and turning over. The soldier yells at Squad 5 to move out. There's a casualty and a monster out of the gates. They try to maintain their position as a scaly hand bursts out of the van. It is drenched in blood and guts. The goblin looks at the soldiers, bare their rifles, and open fire. It tries to resist, but even a monster can't resist multiple rounds of lead. After getting the situation under control, the soldiers claim that the enemy has been eliminated. They also wonder where Suho went. Did he run away with his tail between his legs? He must have been scared by the monster. But in reality, it's the opposite. Suho walks through the gate, realizing that this is the field that is supposed to have goblins. He can sense various monsters lurking in the shadows and can also smell them. He also notices how he is in desperate need of a car. He stands at the edge of a cliff and sees the city in ruin. Is this what happened to all the cities except for Seoul? He can't believe that the once peaceful city is now a wasteland. The sun sets and darkness envelops him from every angle. But it's the same type of darkness that he's been familiar with. He's been molded by it and trained by it for the last 1,000 years. He takes a leap of faith, thinking that it's time to hunt. He crashes into the asphalt and notices how stiff his body is. He rises slowly and sprints and leaps over an entire skyscraper. Even though it's superhuman in every capacity, he's not happy with his performance. He wonders if he feels weaker than before, or if it could be the effect of passing through the portal. He stands against the moon and remembers his wolf pack. He sniffs, trying to spot enemies. He notices a whimpering sound echoing through the city and wonders if that's where he should start his hunt. He slides through the source of the whimpering and screeching voices. Slowly, he steps into the darkness and finds a wolf cornered by 4 goblins. They're toying with the wolf at this point, poking it with their sticks and ready to turn it into a meal. The wolf doesn't back down. With defiance blazing in its eyes, it's ready to pounce. Suho arrives and wonders if he should help. He looks at the conviction in the wolf's eyes as the 4 goblins pounce on it together. Suho smirks. He would rather die than let the goblins jump one of his own. He bonks one of the goblins, completely shattering its neck and dislocating its jaw. His power is so great that the system glitches, searching for his class. Numerous system windows pop up around him, each one showing an error. He's so powerful that he's turned into a glitch in the system. He wonders what the hell it is? Why is there a system error? And with this question, our video ends. If you want to know the answers on what happens from here, hit like and give us a subscribe because the next installment will be coming soon and you would not want to miss the story.